With winter once again making an appearance and the temperatures dropping, it is definitely time to make sure our heating sources are working properly and most of all are safe. Barry Brickey from the Kingsport Fire Department is here this morning with some reminders on heating safety this winter season. Barry, appreciate you being here today.
Hey, my pleasure. It's going to be cold over the next couple of nights.
I'll tell you, it's going to be bitter cold over the next couple, according to the weather guys. But you know, as we go through the rest of this winter, some things to keep in mind. You sent me some stats, and some stuff really jumped out at me. That 1/3 of all all fires that are started by a heating source come from space heaters.
They do, and a lot of times, you know, people might buy one that's a little too big,
right? Because
they want to stay, you know, nice and toasty warm. A lot of times you don't need that. This is one that you might see out. This one, if you were to touch it while it's on, it's going to burn you. It's really, really hot, and you'll notice too in the difference in the plugs. This one actually has a ground on it, and that tells you it's going to be pulling a little more power. This one doesn't. This is a little puts out a little less heat, but it still will keep you warm, but it's cool to touch. And so, you know, when you got to think about some things like that, especially if you've got children or if you've got pets around the house, and anytime you're using these, you need to make sure that there's an area at least 3 feet around them where there's nothing that's combustible.
And we were talking about the small one here. A lot of people buy those and put them underneath their work desk or their work area to keep their feet warm.
They do.
It's a danger though, because if you have paper around, a wastebasket, anything like that, combustible source.
It could be, and you know, if you've got it under your desk, there's not a lot of room there anyway. Even your pant leg or a lady's dress or something like that, or it could be paper, or could be dust if you haven't swept under there in a little while. But you know, you want to keep those things that are combustible away from the heaters, and you need to make sure too that if you do have one like this one, if this one gets too hot, it actually cuts off automatically. So this one, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. This one, if you tip it, it turns off. And so that's what the features you need to look for.
Those safety features.
Yeah, make sure that has all those little safety features for overheating, and also the tip switch is very, very important. And make sure too, we talked about the plugs a second ago, that you plug these in completely. We had a fire in Kingsport just a week and a half ago that someone had a thing plugged in, but it was really loose. And it started creating some heat there, and that's where that fire started.
And you know, if anything gets into contact with that, I mean, that's poof. It's gone.
You know, if you accidentally touch it, or your pet touches it, or a child, you know, they can actually have an electrical shock hazard there too.
And another thing we got to keep in mind: smoke detectors.
Absolutely. With those temperatures dropping, you know, 53,000 fires are going to happen across the United States at least from December up and through February. Now we had kind of a mild December, and now it's getting really cold. But we need to make sure that all of our smoke alarms are working well. This is a dual sensor. It has 2 different smoke sensors in it. Those are fantastic. It's some of the best smoke sensing you can get, and you need to make sure that it has at least those in it, and that way you place them throughout your house and make sure that you have good coverage. And if you have them in your house and are over 10 years old, you need to put new ones in. And a lot of the new ones will have a long life battery, or they'll have a 10-year sealed battery in it, and that way you don't have to change them out every year, and you save money in the long run.
And Barry was kind enough to bring us 4 of these today, and we're going to be giving them away today. Get on our Daytime Facebook page, the Daytime Facebook page. Let us know that you want these, and we're going to give 4 of them away.
That'll be great.
4 of them away. We're going to give 4 of them away. Just get on our Daytime Facebook page, and I tell you what, you have these for folks if they're in need and they really need these. They can come by the fire department and pick those up.
They do, and also a lot of the fire departments all throughout East Tennessee. Some get them from the state. Some, like us, we got them through a grant, and we were able to purchase some of those. I even have some hearing impaired alarms, so if you know anybody who needs a hearing impaired alarm, and that would be anybody who has like a hearing aid and they take them out at night and decreases their capacity to hear. I helped a gentleman last week. We put one in his house about a year ago, and the batteries were starting to run low, but he wasn't quite sure that's what it was. And so I went over, checked it out, and when I was testing the other alarms, even in the daytime with his hearing aids in, he couldn't hear the regular smoke alarms. And so, you know, those members of your family that might fall into that category, we need to help protect them, make sure they're safe.
We've got a few seconds left. If you could give everybody out there one thing to take away from today, one safety tip about their heating sources in their home, what would it be?
Make sure that there's nothing within 3 feet of them, and make sure they don't get too hot.
All right. Barry Brickey, thank you for joining us today. Like I said, we got 4 of these to give away on our Daytime Facebook page. Get on there today. Let us know you need one, and we'll be hooking you up with 4 of these. Barry, appreciate you being on here.
Hey, my pleasure.
All right.